Morning, Steve Freed in Chicago with the morning grain comments. The markets are higher overnight. Sometimes at month end, quarter end, some of the funds will liquidate some of their positions and eventually put them back on at next week. There's also maybe some short covering in the markets in front of today's USDA report. I think the big news overnight that the markets are watching is the fact that Russia will announce the annexation of 4 Ukraine states. At the same time, there is a document out there that suggests that foreign institutions may not be able in the future to buy grain from Russian farmers for export. There's also maybe some initiative that foreign companies cannot own any of the Russian ports facilities. As far as weather is concerned, U.S. Midwest should be warm and dry over the next couple of weeks. Southern Plains should also be mostly dry. Europe is turning drier. Russia may be too wet right now to plant the winter wheat crops. Argentina is dry. Brazil has favorable weather conditions, and central China continues to be mostly dry. USDA is expected to show somewhere around $1.5 billion Step 1 corn stocks, maybe 240 beans, and somewhere around $1.7 billion wheat. I think that they're given the basis levels, those numbers for at least corn and beans could actually be lower, which would be positive to prices. The wheat number is all a function of the first quarter feed usage. Sometimes USDA estimates feed usage higher in the first quarter than the entire year. They really can't explain why this happens, but after this report, there's usually some negative residuals. Weekly export sales in corn and wheat were disappointing. Ethanol production was down last week, and so there is continued concern about demand. China did come back as a buyer of U.S. beans, but South American values for corn and beans are cheaper than U.S., and Russian wheat prices are cheaper than U.S. Yesterday, the wheat prices broke a little bit, and finding out the Algerian tender probably will go to only Russia. Again, we're watching pretty closely with the annexation and whether or not there's additional sanctions against Russia because of that. We'll be back at a little after 11 today to give you an update on the USDA stocks numbers and the impact it's had on prices. I think the bears feel that lack of export demand approaching harvest should be negative to corn and soybean futures. And the wheat market is just day-to-day headlines about what's going on in the Black Sea. As always, these are my thoughts, not those of ADM and ADM Investor Services. Have a safe and profitable trading day.